Hey guys, this is Mara the Reading Hedgehog with a brand new video, a brand new location, a brand new camera, and hopefully I won't be leaving my channel as long as I did last time. So I'm here with my February book haul, better late than never, even though it is kind of halfway through March, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I did actually buy a fair number of books in February, which it's actually been a while since I've done that. But I actually didn't spend that much money because a lot of them I got on sale and it was all planned buys, so let's get started. So first up, the first place I went to buy a bunch of books in February was actually Barnes & Noble because I was bored and I could. So if I can grab them, I'm going to be off camera for a second. There we go. So I did actually buy quite a bit of manga in February, but I don't remember the ones that I bought in February from Barnes & Noble, so I'm not going to include any of those because I've already shelved them, I've already read them, I don't remember what I got. So I'm just going to show you the novels I got. So the first one I got was Curio by Evangeline Denmark. This is, I think, a semi-brand new release. I hadn't heard of it until I went to Barnes & Noble. The cover caught my eye and the title, and I read the inside, and I've been in, of course, a real fantasy kick lately, and this just sounded really cool because, like, it takes place in this world where alchemists control it, and this girl ends up taking a potion, I think, that transfers her to a curio cabinet, where like all these figurines and things are alive, and it just sounded really cool and really original, and I'm pretty sure this is the first one in a new series, so I got it. It sounds really good. The next one I got is The Golden Yarn by Cornelia Funk. This is the third book in the Reckless series, also known as the Mirror World series. I didn't know this was out. It was just sitting there, and so I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy it. So this picks up where Fearless left off, and I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait. And it's got a ribbon bookmark. Look at that. The only complaint is this does not match my other two, and it's really annoying. But we're gonna ignore it because it's a new Cornelia Funke book, and I can't wait to read it because I love the Mirror World trilogy series so much. And then, this was kind of an indulgence buy. I ended up having put back several other books I wanted to buy because I needed to get this. I got A Treasury of Irish Fairy and Folk Tales. This is one of the Barnes & Noble leather-bound editions. And I love fairy tales and folk tales. I especially love the Irish legends because I grew up on them because I am Irish. And my childhood consisted of everything Ireland, like historical Ireland and stuff, because we were very into that side of my heritage. So I got this, and it's just, it's gorgeous. Look at that. And even better, what actually got me to buy this was a long time ago. I remember I was probably about 7 or 6. I read an Irish legend called The Piper and the Pooka, and I don't remember what edition I got, but it had gorgeous illustrations in it. But for years since, I've been trying to find that particular fairy tale, and it's been really hard to find a collection of Irish folktales that has that story. But this one has it, including like a little footnote about the history of the story, so that's actually what compelled me to buy this, other than the fact that it's gorgeous. So I got this, and I can't wait to start reading little selections from it. So then a friend and I went down to Powell's, which actually, I think, now that I think of it, it was actually January that happened, but it was like end of January, beginning of February, so we're going to count it as February. And my friend actually made a book, local book history. When I go to Powell's, I never spend less than $100, and I usually walk away with about 36 books, give or take. But this time, I still spent $100 because, you know, driving down there, there's no point in going if you're not going to spend a lot of money there. But my friend actually ended up getting, I think it was 24 books, and I got, I think, 6 books and 3 mangas. So she made book history. She got more books than I did, but there's a reason for it. But I want to applaud her because not many people, no one's done that before locally. So that's awesome, and I will get you next time. But some of the books I got at Powell's. I got the first volume in the Queen's Knight series by Kim Kang-won. I have been warned that the entirety of this series is not published and I have to finish reading the rest of it online. I've been warned, but I had to get it because it was cheap, and my friend Catherine's told me a lot about it, so I'm like, I'll go ahead and suffer having to read the rest of it online. But this is so weird. So I've gotten used to, reading manga's proper way, and this is read normal, which is weird. I'm not sure I'm gonna get used to that, but yeah. So I got that, and then I got volume 2 and 5 of Kare Kano by Masami Suda, and I don't know why I bother saying the names because I know I butcher them. Another series I know is out of print, but I want to get it because I read the first volume at a friend's house, really loved it, and yeah, so I'm collecting them as I find them so I can read the entire series. And then I got volumes, let me see here, Volume 4 and Volume 5 of Basara by Yumi Tamura. I'm reading this series, and this series, I get all these on Amazon, but Powell's had these, and they also have Volume 6, and I wish I'd gotten it. But these are like practically brand new, and I don't find these very often, so I snatched them up, and I love this series. So then some novels I got. I actually went with a list this time of new releases I wanted to buy. So one of them, probably though was at the top of my list, was Rise of the Wolf by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is the second book in the Praetor War series, which is her brand new series about ancient Rome, gladiators, and cursed treasure that Julius Caesar owned. And those are all things that I love. And I loved the first book, and I can't wait to read this one and see what happens next. Then I got The Princess and the Opal Mask by Jenny Lindquist. This is the first book in a series, and I don't think any of it's been published in hardcover, so I went ahead and got it because it was like $4, and I've been really wanting to read it, so I got it. End of story. It sounds really good. Next up, I got The Diamond Thief by Sharon Gosling. This is also the first book, I think, in a series. This was not a planned buy. I'd never heard of it, but it was just sitting there, and it looked steampunk, and it was about a diamond thief, which I love stories about that, and in Victorian. So then I read the synopsis, and it's about a diamond thief in a circus, and it takes place in Victorian England, and I'm pretty sure it has a steampunk-esque-ness to it, but I could be wrong about that. In any case, it sounded really, really good, and my friend Brianna also got one, and her and I have been doing buddy reads, so this is going to be one of them. Now, this is the reason I didn't get as many books as her. I got The Kingdom of Little Wounds by Susan Cockle. This book was $22. It's been on my list to buy and read ever since it came out, but I've been putting it off because it was so expensive. But it was sitting there on the shelf, and it was calling to me. And then I reread the synopsis, and it called to me even more, and I was like, I really don't want to buy it right now, but it was calling to me. And then I did the inevitable. I took off his dust jacket, and saw the spine. And I knew I had to get it, even though it was expensive, and I should have waited until it was for cheaper. And look at that, it's got maroon pages. I mean, that's just amazing. So I got it. I don't remember too much about this book, like the description, but from what I remember about it, I think it's kind of a retelling of Sleeping Beauty and takes place in a Scandinavian country. So it sounds really good, and I can't wait to read it because, yes. Next up, I bought In the Shadow of Blackbirds by Kat Winters. If any of you follow my blog, you know I love Kat Winters to death. This was the first book of hers I ever read because, well, this is the first one she published. And I loved it so much, and I still love it. And now I have all of Kat Winters' books, except for The Uninvited. And yes, I love this book. So I got it, finally. And then finally I bought The Legend of Luke by Brian Jacques, or Jakes, however you want to pronounce it. I don't remember which number this is in the Redwall series. So, a little bit of history with this Redwall series. I used to have almost this entire series in paperback, brand new paperbacks, mind you, and then I got rid of them because I got rid of all my paperbacks. I just wanted hardcovers, and I started collecting the hardcovers, and they weren't matching because I got some that were UK editions, some that were US, and they didn't match. So then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to collect this in hard paperback because I actually do enjoy having series that are paperback, especially if they're floppy paperbacks. So I got rid of all my hardcovers, and I started rebuying this series for the second time because I got rid of all of my old paperbacks. So I could smack myself for that. But so I'm rebuying this series, and someday I will actually read it. So then, shortly after that, I went by Walmart because I had to get some stuff, and I was like, hey, I'm going to check out the fiction section because sometimes they have really good stuff. And I did, and they had some really good stuff. I got Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. This is the novella collection, and I think it's got a couple of never-before released stories until recently. I recently read and finished Winter, and I loved it. Oh my gosh. That will be in my... I think that'll be in my March reading wrap-up. I'm not sure. But so I got Stars Above because I had to, and it was on sale. And then I got Raging Sea by Michael Beckley. This is the second book in the Undertow series. Oh my gosh, I love this series so much. It was amazing. I cannot wait to see what happens next in this series because this is Michael Beckley at his best. And then more recently, my friend Catherine and I went down to Salem to visit a friend, and there's this really, really cool little used new bookstore that we popped into because why not? I didn't get that many books there, but I got some. One of them was a manga, and it was the 4th volume in Karikano. As I said, I'm collecting them as I find them, and this was really cheap and in really good condition, so I got it. Then I got Calamity by Brandon Sanderson, the 3rd and final book in the Reckoners trilogy. Oh, I can't wait to see how it ends. It's gonna be so good. And I'm also really sad that it's gonna end, but I can't wait because I want to see what happens. And then I also got Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, the 2nd book in the blah 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 Red Queen series. I totally blanked on the title. So the 2nd book in the Red Queen series, and I can't wait to see what happens in this next because that was a really good ending, and that was a really good book in general. And I just can't imagine what's going to happen next, especially when it comes to the romance, because it's kind of a love triangle, but actually no, it's not a love triangle, and the way things are going, I got complicated feelings. I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, I bought this too. So yeah, those are all the books I got in February, and some of them were from January, but as I said, they've kind of mixed and moshed. And I hope you enjoyed this as my first new video coming back to my channel, and you'll get so many more because, guys, this channel is going to actually become something now that I've got an actual video recorder, and I kind of gotten tired of writing reviews. I want to record them, and I want to make this something bigger than it is. So keep an eye out for me around YouTube because I will totally be on YouTube a lot more, and it's good to see you guys, and I will see you with another video later. Bye.